factor the polynomial 16x to the fifth minus 54x squared y cubed completely. The first thing I notice when I look at this polynomial and I'm thinking about trying to factor it is that it only has two terms. It's a binomial. So I don't have to consider any of my factoring trinomial type procedures. These are all the ones that involved looking at numbers, trying to find out factors of those numbers that summed up to certain things. I don't have to bother with any of that. What do I have for dealing with binomials? Not a lot, right? It's either going to just have a common factor that I could pull out, or maybe it's a difference of squares, or a difference of cubes, or a sum of cubes. Those are my only options. All right, so I look and see what I have. X to the fifth is not something squared, it's not something cubed, so it's not going to be one of those options, at least not at first. But maybe we could pull out a common factor. There's an x in both spots. In fact, there's an x squared in both terms, so we're going to be able to pull that out. 16 and 54, those are both even at least, so I can pull a 2 out. So let's do that. We'll pull a 2 out, we'll pull out an x squared, and we'll see what we got. So 2x squared. Pull that out. Take a 2 out of the 16, I'm left with an 8. Take x squared out of our x to the fifth, I'm left with an x cubed. Minus, pull a 2 out of a 54, and we got what left? 27. Pull an x squared out of the x squared, that goes away. I have a y cubed still. So we have this. So this part is factored. Over here, again, I have a binomial. Can it factor more? And again, binomial, either a common factor, which we've pulled out all the common factors, so that's not going to happen, or it's a difference of squares or a difference of cubes, or a sum of cubes, but we know it's not that because we have a subtraction symbol. And we look at it and say, oh yeah, this is a difference of cubes, because 8 is something cubed, it's 2 cubed. X cubed is something cubed, it's x cubed. 3 is something cubed, it's 3 cubed. Y cubed is something cubed, it's y cubed. So we have something cubed, 2x, minus something else cubed, 3y. So I can plug this into my formula. So I know that this part factors as the first 2x minus the last 3y times the first thing squared, so 2x squared, plus the first thing, 2x, times the last thing, 3y, plus the last thing squared, 3y squared. So that's how it factors. I could go ahead and do some of this products, some of those squaring. So I'll write that, and then we'll have our final answer. 2x minus 3y. 2x squared is 4x squared. Plus 2 times 3 is 6. X times y is x times y. 3y squared is 9y squared. Here is my final answer. Now this thing has been factored completely.